So this is your week 2 English lesson. I thought it might be a good idea to work through grammar parts together. So in between you always have to press stop and copy sentences and also answer tasks. Yeah, so in the end you will have time to check everything. So please always follow the mouse, as you can see here, and I'm also going to read out everything. So then let's start. That's what you already did last week. So you read the introductory pages, Unit 4, and you also looked at new words, I hope. And hopefully you also answered all the given tasks. Then we can go on with Station 1, which is a grammar task. So before we look at language, usually we read a text, and that is your text on page 98. I want you to read this text now and answer the questions in number 1, as you can see here. So please press stop now, read the text and answer the questions in number 1. Then we go on with number 2 in your textbook, page 99. The headline says from direct to indirect speech, and that's our topic, our language topic in this unit. Indirect speech and also direct speech. So textbook page 99, number 2. I want you to first prepare such a table as you can see here, with direct speech on the left hand side and indirect speech on the right hand side. And on the left hand side we just copy all the sentences given in the book. I did not put the sentences in inverted commas, but these are direct speech sentences. So, and your task is to find the indirect speech sentences from the text. So it's only a copying task, first of all, and later on we will have a look at the grammar. I want you to write these sentences into your grammar files. Okay, so the first sentence is given: I'm at the leisure center with Amajit. And the indirect one from the text says Eddie said he was at the leisure center with Amajit. So someone or you report what someone else said. That's indirect speech. Okay, so we go on with the second sentence. We are having crisps and drinks from the vending machine, and the indirect sentence would be they said they were having crisps and drinks from the vending machine. So please stop now and write down all the other sentences here and find the missing sentences in indirect speech and write them down on the right hand side. So then we go on with B, and B wants you to find out what changes. When we look at this example here again, what changes, what tense changes when we turn a direct speech sentence into an indirect speech sentence. So you are asked to find out examples also from the sentences in the text. So how do tenses change when you report what someone said? I am changes into he was. There is changes into there was. Steve is into you were, and so on and so on. So I already wrote down for you simple present changes into simple past. That's easy. So, but there are other tenses which are not that easy, as you can see here. I have to delete the curtain. So we are having changes into they were having, present progressive into past progressive. Has spilled into had spilled, present perfect into past perfect. I won't is turned into she wouldn't. Will is turned into would. And you can is turned into he could. Can is turned into could. Please note down all the examples and also the tenses here. So, and in the end, I want you to write down these two sentences, which you always have to remember and which you just have to learn by heart. Okay, so it says you use indirect speech when you want to report what somebody has said. When the reporting verb is in the simple past, as for example in he said, they told her, she thought, yeah, these are the reporting verbs in simple past, then the verb used in the original speech moves 1/10 further back. And I'm going to show you in another picture what it means to move 1/10 further back. So please stop and copy. Okay, and then we go on with the next slide. So I tried to put this into a different picture to make it easier for you to remember. And yeah, when you look at all the tenses, these are all the tenses you already know. Simple present, present progressive, present perfect, simple past, and so on. Yeah, all the tenses you know. And you see all the red arrows, which mean this tense is turned into another tense. Yeah, so I thought this might be a good idea to remember what tenses, how the tenses are changed. So this is called backshift of tenses because we always shift the tenses back into the past. Yeah, this is the timeline. So we are here, simple present or present progressive, and this is the past, this is the future. Okay, so when you report to someone or when you report what someone said, we turn simple present into simple past. Or we turn going to future into was or were plus going to plus infinitive, and so on. I guess that's clear. So the only thing you have to remember is that there are two tenses which are not changed. This is past perfect. A direct speech sentence in past perfect stays in past perfect. And also a sentence in past perfect progressive stays in past perfect progressive. So please press stop and copy this picture. Also in your grammar file, please. So then we go on with the other tasks in your textbook. We are still working at number 2 on page 99, and this is number 2C now. So the task says, read these sentences from the text, report what the people say, use indirect speech. That's a typical task for this grammar. So Steve says, and you can see the inverted commas here. Yeah, so that's direct speech. I didn't have time. Didn't have, simple past. Yeah, and this direct speech sentence is turned into indirect speech. Steve said he hadn't had time. So simple past is changed into past perfect. Yeah, when we go back, simple past, here it is, simple past is changed into past perfect. And he turns, I turns into he. And yeah, we need a reporting verb. Said is our reporting verb. So Steve said he hadn't had time. So in your book, there are more sentences given. I want you to write them down like this and also write down the indirect speech sentences, and please also underline the tenses and everything else that changes. So, and then the last task is number 2D, which says which verbs are used to introduce indirect speech. Can you think of more verbs? Make a list. So we already used some reporting verbs. Yeah, said, for example, is one. He told me they were, and there are others you can use to introduce an indirect speech sentence. Try to find more from the text again and write them down. And please press stop. So then we go on, and I want you now, you can stop this picture here and please check all the answers you wrote down so far. This is page 98, number 1. Stop the film and compare these answers with your answers, and also please write down the correct versions, also mark your mistakes. Okay, I'm going to show you the other answers now. These are the answers for textbook page 98, number 2A. Yeah, I already gave you the first 2 sentences here, but you had to find all the others. And please check your sentences and also the indirect speech sentences, which you had to find out from the text. And press stop. And task number 2, B, C, and D, you can check with these answers and always stop the film. So, your last task for today or for this English lesson is now to print the 2 worksheets in your folder. These are the 2 worksheets. I want you to print them and to answer these worksheets. And this is your practice. Yeah, so you have to practice direct, indirect speech now. And the same procedure as last week. I'm going to ask some of you next Monday to send me some pictures so that I can see what you did and if you need more help or yeah. Okay. So, and also please send questions, likes and problems via mail or messenger. That's it for today. Bye bye.